All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Wednesday, the 19th of May, 2021. We've got the moon moving through the later degrees of Leo. Going to create a quincunx up to Pluto in Capricorn. The quincunx is the astrological blind spot, something we can't see, an energy that exists that we don't understand how it's happening or how they're playing an effect on each other. We're also going to have the moon creating a square to the sun in the sign of Taurus, and then it's going to start to oppose Jupiter in the sign of Pisces as the moon moves into Virgo. Let me show you the chart here. We'll talk about it all. So here around 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, this quincunx to Pluto and the moon in Leo. That same time, we're just starting to feel the opposition to Jupiter and the square of both Jupiter and the sun to the moon here, or the sun to Jupiter and the moon. So this is a lot of energy. This is a really interesting energy coming from where we were with the grand fire kite. And you see as well, we have this little sesqui-square happening from the moon. Sesqui-square and the quincunx are very similar kind of energies. They're energies that don't see one another. They don't understand how it's working. Similar to how a sextile and a trine are an easy flow of energy, the quincunx and the sesqui-square are annoying energies. So the moon here wants to play in Leo, wants to have fun. This is our creative self-expression. This is us being leaders. And it's like what we don't see is how powerful we are. We don't see the extent of our authority. We don't see the extent of our capabilities. We don't see the extent of us being a powerful individual. Capricorn is all about individuality. Leo is all about individuality and how we express that individuality. Capricorn is the boss of the zodiac. Okay, you are the boss. We're all bosses of our own lives. And this is about owning, harnessing that truth, stepping into your truth, stepping up to your light, your full potential. It's not holding things back. It's about valuing oneself. This little square happening here. A couple hours later. Right there around 3 o'clock. Moon square. Part of this moon square, the sun, this time around, this month, is about understanding what are we holding on to? What are we so stubborn about that it's creating a conflict behind the scenes of our lives? We're so stuck on the order and the rules, and we're so stuck on our personal point of view. We're so stuck on our emotions first. We're so stuck on, I don't know, it could be any, chew your food 35 times before swallowing. Make sure, you have to hold a hug for 18 seconds before you let go. You have to stop for 3 full seconds at a stop sign, although there's no cars coming and it's the middle of the night. It's like, cop is going to pull you over. Oh my God. And that's the same, this sesqui-square up to, or the quincunx up to Pluto. It's just like the power of an individual thinker. These things in a certain way outweigh the rigidness of our own control issues. We have a lot of control issues. This is what's been being highlighted while this sun's been in Taurus this year. We have control issues that we have to let go of. Speaking of quincunxes as well, we have Uranus here, quincunx to the south node. This is us recognizing, and we're seeing it. We're seeing the illumination. What needs to change? I want to express myself and be fun and live and be free and not be held back for speaking my thoughts or feeling my emotions or moving forward with my emotions. I want to just be myself. I want to be abundant. I want to know that I am a person of power and authority. And this isn't something that like you're gifted. Being, we all have authority. We all have power. We all have willpower. Something we talked about yesterday. This is my will. My willpower to not eat a gallon of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. To not, it could be anything. What do we, it's like we need to respect ourselves. We need to respect our individuality. We need to respect our emotions. Think differently. We need to understand that things are going to change in our lives, that things absolutely have to change in our lives. And then we got the moon moving into Virgo here, spicing things up. 6 p.m. opposed to Jupiter, still creating this square to the sun. Only, a degree apart here. Degree and a half apart. So what is this all about? The moon in Virgo now is getting very focused. It's like, okay, there's things in my life I'm unhappy with. Is it my own stubbornness? Are there things that I am in so much of a control freak over that I'm getting in the way of my own happiness? How can I let certain things go and still be myself, and still uphold a bar, still raise the bar of personal value, but getting out of my own way without creating conflict as well? This is the balance. This is what the T-square is all about today. It's what the T-square is all about. And then look at this. And we have this little semi-square, moon semi-square to Mars, sun semi-square to Mars. This is about our own emotions and our own actions moving forward in something. What are we so stubborn on emotionally that we well, nope, because this happened and A plus B equals C, and that's how it is. And we see here, it's just like, okay, we need to focus our emotions on what do we need to let go of, what it is that we need to do to bring abundance in our lives. How do we need to value ourselves and still connect with the higher source, a higher spirit, to let go and to be free? Over here is judgment. Over here is lack of judgment. Over here is specific, laser-focused, vision, or laser-focused information, communication, very specific. Over here, this could be anything. This is the mystery box. What's behind door number 1, 2, or 3? And we see here, in order to get to this kind of place of abundance, coming back to the valuing of self, understanding that we're going to have emotional turbulence, that things are going to be difficult, that to go through these changes, to release some of the stuff of the past, is going to take simply time. Uranus moving through Taurus is going to take time. Till 2026. This is when Uranus is going to be here. The sun will only be here for another day. So this is a good day to, at first in the morning, we're feeling energy. We're feeling that fire. We're feeling the fire and trying to recognize what it is inside of self that's creating conflict within ourselves, because it's not outside. This is about our personal authority. This is about our personal conquest, our personal journey. This is myself against myself. This is myself against the clock. I don't know, the great wheels of time, I suppose. This isn't about anybody else in our environment. This is all about self. What do I have to do to get out of my own way for me to be abundant in joy and happiness? Now, I'm feeling that fire. I'm feeling that energy. Now I can take this. Emotional moon moves into Virgo and says, okay, now I see what it is I need to focus on. It's time for me to either get creative, write a list, figure things out, and come back to how I can truly value myself. What are the steps I need to take in order to value myself? And again, if this is about addictions, because we have 2 planets of expansion right now in Pisces. It's not easy. And Virgo and Pisces, this is the axis of addiction and escaping. And we want to escape even greater. And we're going to, drink to the bottom of the bottle till we feel nothing, or we're going to whatever, anything. And it could be any substance, any drug, any video game, losing ourselves in mindless television, mindlessly scrolling through social media, focusing more on the problems that are happening outside of our environment that we can do literally nothing about. This is another aspect of this value with Mercury and Venus both in the sign of Gemini. This is about information. And our thoughts, our mind, our feelings, we're giving so much information or we're giving so much of our energy away by talking about what other people want to talk about, by having the conversations of worldly things that have nothing to do with us and our internal peace and our internal happiness. Now, that's not saying turning a blind eye. I'm got to be careful how I word that. This is not saying turning a blind eye, like, oh, if it's outside my environment, it doesn't care, whatever. The whole world can blow each other up as long as me and my circle are fine. That's by no means what I'm saying. But it's like, well, what is our level of involvement in something? And that's where we should put our energy. Can I change something within my community? Can I add or create something here in my life? Can I add and create something in people's lives within my community? Saturn being in Aquarius. If that is a yes, then this is a place that we need to focus our time and energy on. If this is like just talking about the new social whatever, if we can't do something about it, are we wasting our energy? I'm not saying that we are wasting our energy but are we? Are we wasting our energy going around in circles debating what came first, the chicken or the egg? Can we solve that great conundrum? If the answer is yes, then by all means, keep, going at it. So this is like valuing our time, valuing our mind, valuing our words, valuing our feelings and all the energy that we're putting into something. And just because it's on the tip of somebody else's tongue doesn't mean that we have to have a conversation. So this is coming back to self. And what do I need? What do I need to do? What do I need to do to bring myself to that space where I am personally happy? And I'm not evading, not escaping, not losing sense of myself, valuing myself. And this is a beautiful energy to write lists, Virgo. Write lists, write it out, create your vision board. Where do you want to see yourself? It's a good time of year. Not quite halfway through the year. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to see the next? We have this, and this is the square too that's leading up to the eclipse. It's happening on the 25th, 26th, depending where you're at. It's 7 a.m., I think, on the 26th. It's like we got this great eclipse. Sun North Node, emotional moon South Node. We are letting go of a lot of crap right now. We are letting go of a ton of stuff. And we have to be able to look at ourselves in an honest reflection, look at our shadows and say, what the heck is it with me? It's not anybody else. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to do? So while the moon is in Virgo over the next, day, 2 days here, 2.5 days, this is a great time to try to figure some of that stuff out. Because then once the moon moves into Libra, now we're going to be dealing with other people. We're going to be dealing with all kinds of aspects of others. So this is right now, this is about self. This is about you, about number one. Number one, what do you got to do? Get yourself right and tight. My friends, as always, thank you for hanging out with me. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow.